I'm Crystal, and welcome to my channel, The Crazy Life of Crystal. All right, so let's talk generational curses. And if you don't know what a generational curse is, it is a pattern that happens within the family over several generations. And I know I'm not the only person who've dealt with this situation, and maybe it's a situation going on in your family and you just haven't identified it. So I'm gonna try to be very transparent here. Um, I do coach and talk to people about, you know, family dramas and issues, generational curses. And, you know, I try to help people off of my personal experiences. I'm not one to say that, you always need to, you know, fix every situation and force certain relationships. I just don't believe that. I do feel that you need to reconcile certain situations for your personal growth. And I do understand that some situations the only person that you can control is you. And it takes two people in a relationship. So with that being said, you can't control how the next person is going to react. You can't make them grow. You can't make them change. But there is things that you can do to help aid in your growth so you can move forward. And that's what I want to look at today. So it's no secret for those who know me. I don't have the closest relationship with my mom. And it's not that I've tried, but like sometimes they say some people are just stuck in their ways. And you know, it is what it is. But for me to be able to move forward and, kick depression about the situation, I had to come to terms with some things. And I had to also forgive my mom and forgive myself for a lot of things that happened in the past. And a lot of times, you know, some people, you know, people grow at different pace. And, spiritually and emotionally, you know, your family member may not be where you are. So they might not be at a place of, forgiveness or acceptance to see, they're wrong, or, you're not perfect, I'm not perfect. So you have your wrongs. But if you are able to see where you went wrong and then you try to point out someone else's wrong and they're just like, no, it's you know, instead of butting heads, you just have to see where you are, see where they are at that point in time, and figure out how to improve you at that given time. I think an easy way that I found to move forward and to forgive the other person is to try to have some type of understanding of where the problem lies, where those actions are coming from. And that's very important with generational curses, because you really have to get to the bottom of the situation. And it can go, and probably does go, generations back, years back. And, it's probably not just your mom, your dad, your grandparents, maybe your great grandparents. You really have to dig deep. And although you may not be able to fix their situation, and you can't impose too much on someone else's journey, that's their journey for them to find themselves. But Say, for instance, I've learned that a lot of times when you have a family member and they speak negatively towards you or your situation, and it's hard to find or hard for them to find anything positive, no matter how hard you try, it's always negative. It's not necessarily a reflection on you, but a reflection on really how they feel for themselves. A lot of times it's a lot of self-hate, a lot of generational curses comes, like the root of it is self-hate. Now, something could have happened in their past that caused, that self-hate, that's lack of self-love. And, it could be a number of things that could have happened. But all in all, that's the end result. And that self-hate, it just keeps on, they push that down to the next generation, whether it be their child, a niece, a nephew, you know, and that person takes on that negative energy because we are beings of energy. And so energy transforms and it's steady moving. So, when you are communicating with people, you're sending energy back and forth. And so it's very easy, especially when you're in, a close situation with a family member, a close relationship, you're living in the same household. It's very easy for them to put that energy off on you. So if they're always depressed, if they're feeling negative about themselves, they can't give you positive energy. If they don't have self-love, how can they show you love? And so once you start to realize that, it's a lot easier for you to go from I don't want to say hate because hate is such a strong word, but that distaste for a certain person, it's a lot easier to feel compassion for that person, despite the things that they've said, despite the things that they've done. You know that it's a deeper issue and you're not the issue. It's something within them. It's something that you can't change. It's something that they have to change. So you pray for that person, but knowing that the root of that evil is self-hate, then you know how to fix it. Because moving forward, you don't want to bear that self-hate. You don't want to carry that self-hate. And I feel since that is usually the root of most generational curses, to be able to start and correct that, it takes self-love. And once you start to really work on yourself, and I think that's one thing that people need to understand, that it's not so much about you trying to change the other person, make that other person understand, try to fix them. Work on you, because they're going to figure it out in due time, in their time. But if you, and which the main thing is, you have to be cognizant, you have to recognize that there is a pattern. And then once you recognize it, that light bulb goes off. That's letting you know this is your time. This moment is for you to rectify the situation. It might not be their time yet. So don't worry about that. God's going to handle that in his time. But if you feel the need, if it's come to, if it's come to you and you recognize it, then at that point, to change it, start working on self-love, start healing yourself from the trauma of that relationship. And that's how you start to break your generational curse. You make sure that you are loving you and you feel whole. So therefore, you have something positive to give. You can give love and not hate to the next generation. So, like I said, the first step is to realizing the problem. Second, dig deep. Find out what's causing it. Find some type of understanding. Transform that understanding to compassion. Drop the hate. Self-love. So I hope this helped. And any questions, comments, drop that in the comment section. And till next time.